This right here is crazy.
AyeQ!
This is what, yo, imagine him being in a hospital trying to deal with, and the baby's coming out. Fellas, again, focus on yourself. That's what it is. What's up, YouTube? So, one of my loyal supporters asked me to do a reaction to this video, and the title of the video is Women Childbearing Age, Faith in God's Timing and His Plan. All right, so let's jump right into the video.
Older, the chances of having children and it gets less and less and less. Have you ever had thoughts of dang, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I want this thing, but is this even possible the longer I wait for this man who doesn't have children? I used to have that was one of my ultimatums. I was like, I don't want anybody to get kids. I was in college saying that, and
we might be kindred sisters over here. Let me find out.
Right, I used to think like that, and I don't know if it was my mom or a friend of mine, someone. I was in college, and I was like, I do not want anybody that has kids. I just saw the baby mama drama, and I did not want them. Like my father has 4 kids by 4 different women.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but my father is an incredible dad, and someone had to point that out to me. What an amazing father my dad is, and could you not love someone who has children? That changed my mindset and perspective on dating a man with children.
Wow.
Because of how amazing my dad was, how he honored my mother with the other women to make sure she never felt inferior or that there was still anything going on. Because you have those issues too. So I changed my mind on that. But as a woman, and we're getting older, how do you wrap your mind around? I'm still holding on to wanting to date somebody who doesn't have kids when that opportunity for us naturally is fleeting.
Two things. One, I've dated, my first fiance had no kids. Look how good God is. He gave me all the experience to choose. My first fiance had no kids. My second one had kids. Two totally different men.
Yeah.
The relationship with no kids is more the relationship for me. Regardless. And so through my experiences, I know the no kid guy, that's my guy. I'm able to be fully open, fully present with him. That's my thing. I just have to have that. That's a non-negotiable. The second thing is, faith is an action word. And
See, here's the thing, right? These women look like they are over the age of 30. They're either in their late 30s or early 40s. I'm just guessing here. Now, my question is this. So you've been on this earth all this time, and you couldn't find a man to start a family with? That's cool. It happens, I guess. Maybe they were focused on their careers, who knows? But then you gotta ask yourself, what were they doing this whole time? You gotta ask yourself that, bro. And 9 out of 10 times, these women probably been in the streets. I'm just keeping it real because there's no way a woman is in her late 30s and couldn't find a man to start a family. Impossible. Because at 21, 22, if a woman is really interested in finding a man to start a family with, based on the fact that she have the fountain of youth, based on the fact that her body is still young, plump, and sacred, she's able to find a man to start a family with. However, if she chose to give her best years to the streets, this is how she usually sounds when she's up in age. Facts.
I was a little girl in the inner city, a product of two parents who were teenagers. My mom was addicted to the drug that my father sold, and she's now sober, thank God. She's killing the game. VP of my company, got her own business. She's just doing her thing. And my father has transitioned. Last year he passed away, but before he passed away, he was a family man. He was a longshoreman. He was working, so he transitioned out that lifestyle. I say that to say that.
Yo, here's the thing, bro. This is a woman with a lot of trauma. It's going to be difficult to try to save a woman like this because she's gonna need to heal constantly based on the way that she was brought up. Her dad sold drugs, her mom used it. So she's in the, like, as far as the way she perceived, she gotta be really, and this is no disrespect, but that will damage a person psychologically. And it's gonna be difficult to save a woman like this, man. I'm telling you.
God took a little girl in the inner city with abandonment issues, and took my broken pieces and made peace from it. He took a little girl in the inner city and took me from the hood to the hills. And there hasn't been one promise he hasn't one kept or doubled down on. And so when I had that conversation with God, he checks me and he says, I'm confused. How much more do I need to do for you to trust that what you want will prevail? How much more do I need to do for you to understand that maybe it's your career that I need you to do right now? Because if you have that husband, the type of woman that you are that loves the way you love.
Yo, it be so dangerous, bro. Like, whenever a woman brings God into it and say, yo, God told me to focus on my career. That is scary, bro. Me personally, fam, I can't trust a woman like that, because how did God tell you to do that? How? How did he tell you to do it? How? Did he send you a letter? Did you get an email? Like, did you get a text? Did you get a phone call? Like, how? But it be these women own intuition. Like, that's how they feel. And they're like, it gotta be God. It's crazy.
Love, you might just put this career aside. And I know how you are. And so let me do what I do if you're going to be in my will. And because of my faith in him and the way he shows up every day, I will be completely dishonoring him and myself, completely disrespecting God and myself to believe or disbelieve that the desires of my heart won't come to pass. And so I'm that woman. I understand Abraham and Sarah. I'm not saying I want to wait till I'm 80, but what happened with Sarah? She wanted a baby, and she wasn't barren, right? And Abraham was 80, and she said, "Well, go and have a baby with the maid." And as soon as he got the maid pregnant, Sarah ended up pregnant. And God said, "You just couldn't wait a little longer." And then when the maid got pregnant, Sarah said, "Get rid of this." Excuse my language, but she got to go because now I'm bearing your child. And Abraham was such a G and such a good man. And Sarah, he told the maid, "Good day." God had a conversation with the maid in the desert and said, "Listen, you go back because you don't know who you carrying. You go back. You carrying what Sarah was supposed to carry because Sarah couldn't wait for me. Baby, listen, ain't no maid finna be pregnant with my blessing. I refuse. And I believe and trust that when it's right, it'll happen. And I really know that that is what allows me not to react or be in despair when I'm dating. That's what gives me the verticalness of being able to stand vertical.
Lady, you're not getting any younger. This is crazy. Listen, here's the thing, right? A woman like this, like I said, she might be in the late 30s, early 40s, I'm guessing. Either way, she could have some type of issues giving birth to a child at this point in her life. Right? But here's the thing. She's trying to find a man who ain't got no kids, a man who got his shit together. And she want a man like that to take her serious at her age. And there's no disrespect, but you gotta weigh your options. Why would I choose an older woman to have my child when I could choose a younger, healthier, healthier woman? Why? See, and it's like these women don't think about their futures. They don't think about these things when they are young, when their body is in his prime, and they could get any man they want, and they could get any man to do the things that they don't think about these things. They think about these things when they are past their prime, and that's the sad part.
Look on what I want and not waver in it, because God's like, what you want to do? Because you're going to get your blessing either way. You either going to get it after the maid gets it, or you going to wait and have what you want. And guess what? I'll wait. I'll wait.
So something similar to that. I was on the Dear Future Wifey with Latarius Whitfield, and he asked me about.
I love him, by the way.
I know, isn't he amazing?
Latarius, I love you.
Yeah, shout out Latarius. And he was asking me about having children. I said, I'm so sick of people saying, like, I feel like as a woman women in our 40s, it is the most annoying question is, when you gonna have some babies? You know,
40s. Yo.
And I told him, I said, I'm tired. My answer is just stay out of my uterus. Like, people, I have a friend that literally DMs me like every few months, have you frozen your eggs yet? Have you frozen your eggs yet? I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously. And I told him, I said, I'm in a space now where I've waited too late. I went to the doctor and she was like, it's too late to freeze your eggs because you don't want to freeze them and then only one may survive. And she said, so at this point, you just try to get pregnant naturally. And I was like, okay. And same, I used the Abraham and Sarah analogies exactly like you did. And I said, you know what, where I am, where my faith is, if it's meant to be, it will happen, you know, and it's going to be a healthy pregnancy. The baby's going to be healthy and live a great life, but I can't put that pressure on myself.
Yeah.
But I do feel like because of the same way, I literally said this, we may be twin, where have you been? Because I told a friend, I said, you know, I used to pray like, God, I have everything, but this one component, like, why am I missing the love? Like, I want somebody to share this beautiful life with. And I'm telling you, I would like sit in my room and be really sad, walk into this big, beautiful home, sad to not have anyone to share it with.
The big home, yeah. Feeling homeless.
Baby, it's a real thing. Yeah. And I was sitting there and I was like, but I knew, I was like, God literally said, if I brought you that, I know how you are. I'm always like, what you need, what you need, what you need, how can I help? And I would have been putting so much into that person that I would have let my career go by the wayside. That would
Career. This is just crazy. Like, it's so sad, man, because this is the outcome of a woman who don't choose a righteous path in life. And like, when I say that, I mean when a woman is in her prime, right? Because women go for their beauty. So when a woman is in her prime, the things that she do while she is in her prime is going to affect her future. That's just the reality. If a woman chose to be virtuous and focus on finding a man and a family and things like that, in the future, when she's past her prime, she will be with a family and things like that. But once a woman play the streets and chase her career or whatever, this is how she's going to sound. And the sad part about it is she's going to reach a point of desperation where if she was to date a man and it's a man that she likes, and let's say he checks everything on her list, she's going to be trying to pressure that man into getting her pregnant. It wouldn't be no fun dating a woman like this at her age. And that's the thing about women in their 40s. There's no fun there. And it's like a woman have to keep that in mind. That's why when you are in your prime, it's very critical that you try to find a man that you want. Try to find a man who will save you in your prime. Because when you're past your prime, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough out here.
Would have been, and I look back at relationships, I'm like, dang, I wonder what it would have been like. It wouldn't have been like this. Right. You know, because there's an amount of energy that you have to put into your career to get to the level that you want to get to. So I'm with you on that. That's good.
Yeah. And
This is so crazy. Where have your career gotten you? You out here looking lonely, you're in your 40s, in a big house by yourself? That's wild, man.
I'm awake. God blesses the
Yeah.
bold and he blesses at the level of our beliefs,
He
right? And
does,
so
yeah.
anything that we want, I feel like once we pray and every thought and every word's a prayer, prayer is
Mhm.
not just this. I feel like
Yeah.
it goes out to the download system
Mhm.
and it sits there waiting for our belief to align with it.
Mm.
When our belief aligns with it, it
Yeah,
downloads.
yeah.
And I used to, I was poking at God more like I think maybe about 10 years ago or so. And I was like, why are you taking so long? You know, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually mad at him.
Yeah.
I was mad. And I said,
Mhm.
I'm mad at you.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, let's talk about it.
Right,
I
what's
want to
up?
talk to you.
What? She just said she's mad at God. Like what? Like yo, bro. Like I'm telling you, fam. Whenever you hear a woman throws God out there like that, a lot of times chicks like her are usually delusional, bro. These women need help. If you're 40 plus and you're making up all these excuses as to why you don't have a family and things like that, that's a woman who needs counseling, bro. She needs help. She needs to heal. That's built up trauma. It's impossible to save a woman like that. She's going to be a bitter hen. That's just the reality, man.
I'm mad at you. He's like, well, woman, I created you, so I know exactly what to say
Yes.
to get you to talk to me. And I was like, you do. And so
love
we,
that.
had this conversation, and he said,
Yeah.
what have I told you to trust me? That I know where I'm going with this, and that I know your heart, I know the plans. And I said, I commit to trusting you.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, you've always said that you didn't want to be. I always use Kobe Bryant because I love him. One of my favorite players. Rest in peace. You always said you didn't want to be Kobe Bryant's wife. You wanted to be Cheyenne Bryant, who's married to Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
He says, so let me establish you. And you know what it says, right? It says, those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength.
Yes.
He said, I will establish you and make you perfect.
And
You're
look at
mount
it.
up
On
wings like
yes.
eagles. You're walking, not get weary. You're running, not faint. Baby, I'm doing all
I
those
about to say,
things.
right now you're
I'm
doing
doing
all
all
that.
those
Yes.
things. And I'm more vertical and more healthy than I've ever been. I told my best friend about a month ago, I said, girl, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. And I'm not just talking about like because I got, money and confidence. This is before even all this viral shit even happened. I was like, girl, I'm the healthiest I've never felt so full. And I want to tell the women, my prayer was, God, okay, if you're going to have me wait, no problem, but can we negotiate? And he said, what? Because he knows how I am. He's like, what, woman? I said, can you just fill me up, top me off, as though I already have the husband, as though I already have the kids, so that the despair and in the turmoil doesn't cause a conflict where I can't show up in your will. I want to show up full for you. And he said, bet, you got a deal. And I'm not playing. I have been filled up and taught.
Really? He said that, huh? Fellas, this is the karma of a bird. I'm just keeping it real. This is usually the outcome of a woman who chose the path of a bird. And the reason why I'm calling her a bird is simply because of the way she sounds, her mindset. This is a woman who will never look herself in the mirror and say, oh, this is where I went wrong in the past. So if she's, she claims she speaks to God and all that, what she should be doing is asking the Lord for forgiveness. Let's start there. Instead, she's saying, I'm mad at you. Like, like what? And this is what God's. This is a woman. I'm telling you all, bro. Women like that are very delusional. They make things up in their head. This is what you call a compulsive liar. She will lie to herself till she start believing her lies. And as a man, if you come across a woman like that, bro, leave her alone. Give her space. Women like this are single for a reason. If a woman is in her 40s with no kids, single, come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's like the signs are always there, fam. You think a woman about to be on this earth who is a virtuous, righteous woman who could change a man's life with her good energy, a quality woman, you think she's about to be single with no kids in her 40s? How? There's no way she's not getting snatched up. So if a woman is single with no kids in her 40s, listen, mentally she needs help. 9 out of 10 times mentally that woman needs help. And she don't need a man. She needs to heal if she's still sounding like this. Well, let's be wise out here, man. And like I always say, the signs are always there, bro. And the reality is, if a woman don't live righteously in her prime, if she choose to use her body to attract the wrong things, this is usually her karma. She's gonna be a woman out here, lonely, single, with no man in the future. Because she done played a whole bunch of good dudes in her past. And whenever a woman screws over a good dude, at some point she gotta pay that price. And it's usually when she's past the prime. Sad.